Do you write smexy scenes for romance novels? Would you like a tip? What I often see as a romance novel editor is, especially in male-female romance with just two partners, there's a lot of attention paid to what the hero is physically doing to the heroine. There's often less attention paid to what the heroine is physically doing to the hero, but also the physical sensations and the emotions that are happening during that scene also. I said also twice. That was annoying. Try to be inside the mind of your character as you're writing that scene, and let the reader experience what the character is experiencing. Think about physical sensation like tickles and touches and tingles and rushes, but also think about emotionally what these characters are going through. The passion and the excitement and maybe some fear. And if you'd like to dive even deeper, hit my linkity, because I am hosting romance author LaQuette at the end of this month, and she has given us a whole class called Let's Talk About Smex, except without the M. Don't block me, TikTok. You can sign up for the class online.
I challenge you. If you are a writer of spicy scenes, I want you to rewrite one of your spicy scenes and blindfold your characters. No, I'm not trying to force you to write Kiki. I am trying to force you to use senses other than sight to describe that spicy scene. So if your characters are blindfolded, they have to use their other senses to tell the reader what's going on. Hearing and taste and touch and even balance, or a sense of being overwhelmed, or a sense of wildness. Revise your latest spicy scene without using a sense of sight, and see if you can get into a deeper point of view that way. As you're crafting characters for your romance novel, think about the 5 love languages. Giving each of your main characters a different love language can be a kind of quick and easy way to deepen their character without putting a whole lot of work into it. What are the 5 love languages? I always forget, so I'm going to have to pause and go back and forth. But it's words of affirmation, receiving gifts, quality time, acts of service, and physical touch. So how do you make that work? Let's say we have 2 main characters. One of them has a love language that is acts of service. The other one has a love language that is words of affirmation. Character 1 is going to show their love by doing things for character 2. Character 2 is going to show their love by writing love notes or telling character 2 how they feel. This can end up causing conflict. So you can use this to show readers how character 1 is in love with character 2 and character 2 is in love with character 1, but you can also use it to show how character 1 and character 2 don't quite understand each other yet, and are possibly making assumptions based on what their love language is and what they expect to receive, as opposed to what the other person's love language is and what they want to give.
Here's the thing with romance and why it's hard to write. At least 2 characters, at least 2 full GMCs, character arcs, all of that. Yes, that is hard also. But romance is character driven, and that means the character arc that all of the main characters have to take is the core story. And because it's romance, that character arc has to happen because they're in a relationship with the other person or people. So we're going to keep it simple and do 2 people. If you have a character that goes through their character arc from flaw to wholehearted, and they do it without the person they're in a relationship with, then you have some opportunities for improvement in your story. If you can switch out character 2 for a best friend or a sister, and character 1 still completes their arc, there's a problem. My favorite writing resources? I'm so glad you asked. Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes, Goal Motivation Conflict by Deb Dixon, and Intuitive Editing by Tiffany Yates Martin. what's your favorite butter? And I don't mean like Kerrygold or Country Crock. Kerrygold because I bake. I mean Universal Fantasy. If you don't know what Universal Fantasy is, go ahead and look up the book Seven Figure Fiction by T. Taylor. It might change your entire writing world. But if you do know the book, tell me what your butter is. One of my favorite pieces of butter is when a hero and a heroine in a romance novel sleep together but without sex. Usually before they actually start having the sex. I like that. It's the cuddles. Let's have a quick conversation about story structure. There are a bajillion ways to define it, but I usually see that there are 6 foundational elements. You have a goal, which is someone trying to usually achieve or attain or avoid something. You have their motivation, which is why they want that thing. You have conflict, which is set in front of them and they have to overcome the conflict in order to get the thing. They have some kind of flaw or wound or bias that informs the decisions they make as they're working through the conflict. There are dire stakes involved so that they have to attain this goal or something terrible is going to happen. And the character arc is how they learn or grow emotionally away from the flaw to earn their happily ever after.